Welcome back to Eyewitness News. Our legal counsel, Charlie O'Hara, here in the studio this morning. Good morning, Charlie. Good to see you today.
Good to see you.
We have got 3 calls already on the line for you, so I guess we better get to the phone straight away.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll go ahead and get to that first caller. Caller, what's your question for Charlie this morning?
Yeah, my question is, my neighbor has a couple of trees that have come up volunteer along the fence line. They've gotten big enough that the trunks of the trees are pushing the 6-foot privacy fence over. He had agreed to have them cut down, but he is now in jail, and the house is vacant. So what I can do about the trees and the fence?
Well, I mean, you throw kind of a different, if he agreed to cut them down and you've got an agreement to do that, you could probably go cut them down yourself, I suppose, if he's agreed to it. If the house is vacant and it's violating the code, you can file it with the city of Wichita. They'll have some inspectors come out there, probably issue a ticket originally, but if he's in jail, I don't know that the ticket's going to do a whole lot of good, but they can probably order those trees cut down. If he's in jail and you can communicate with him at all by mail or go see him and get him to consent to you cutting down the trees, that would solve the problem. That'd be the easiest problem. Otherwise, I think I'd call the city of Wichita and see if you can get the code enforcement to come out there and enforce the code about damage to your property.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
Okay.
Good question. All right, we're going to head back to the phones. Another caller on the line. Good morning. What's your question for us?
My question is on child support. Does anything ever happen to individuals who don't pay? And if so, how long does it take?
Well, yes, a lot happens to people that don't pay. If you don't pay your child support, you're still able to see your child. Those are unrelated things. I mean, some people think visitation and keeping up on your child support work together, but they don't. They're separate things. You can not pay your not pay your child support and still have visitation. However, if the court orders you to pay child support and you don't pay it, the person that doesn't pay it can be brought in. The judge will order them to pay it if they have the funds. You've got to have the money. If the judge orders them to pay it, if they don't pay them, the judge will put the person in jail. Wow. So there's a lot that can be done. And court orders from judges, if you don't follow those, are ultimately enforced by you being incarcerated. So there's a lot that can be done. And actually, at times, it even can be criminal if you don't pay them. It can be criminally enforced. But usually what the judge will do is first order you to go to jail.
Okay, so consequences pretty stiff then.
They really are. You should pay your child support.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. We're going to head back to the phones with another caller on the line for Charlie. Good morning. What's your question?
Yeah, my question is, I need to find out how would a guy go about getting a record expunged from 1986?
Well, it can be done. Now, certain crimes can't be, and what expungement means is that it's kind of a legal fiction. You can go to court, petition the court. If the court if it's fit, the court will order that your record be taken away. So no one can find that except, you know, the FBI and the KBI and the law enforcement. So it can actually be found, but for an employer, you can say, I've never been convicted of anything, and that's actually the truth. So you can do that. You have to petition the court, and then the court has to approve it. So what you can probably do is get a hold of, in this county, the district attorney's office. They'll give you some paperwork that says how to do it. Some people, it's a little complex. They want to hire an attorney to do it. Some people try to do it themselves. Probably better to have an attorney, but you can get it taken off for certain crimes. The length varies. Some of them are 5 years, some of them are 10 years after you're off probation. Some of them can never be taken off. So you'd have to check with the statutes, but it can be done.
And there's ones that can. We've had callers like this before where it haunts them 20, 30 years down the road.
Yes, and the problem is in today's society, you can usually find it on the internet anyway, but you can say you've never been convicted.
Okay, there you go. Want to be honest. Thank you, Charlie.